This time you have a vacant home. It's for lease, and you go to check it out. You find some people living in it. And so you knock on the door, like, hey, what's going on? And they tell you that they have a signed lease with the owner. They met him on Craigslist. And this owner signed a lease agreement with them, paid him a deposit, paid him the first month's rent. They just moved in. What do you do with that?
Yeah, that's tough. It's really tough.
That's never happened to you. Like, you've never heard of that happening before yet.
Oh yeah. It happens. You know, there's some safeguards you can do as a landlord if you're renting a house. Is, for instance, if you open up the toilet seat, there's a paper across the seat that says, if you're not speaking to Renter's Warehouse, you're being scammed. If you open up the oven, if you're not speaking to Renter's Warehouse, you're being scammed. Because when they go to look at the house, there's ways for them to get a hold of the key, right? They go, they get a lockbox code, or they get into the lockbox, they copy the key while they're there, and now they have a key, they put it back. There's no red alert to us, right? Also, you'll catch times where you'll find your home listed for a really low price, and that's what they're doing. So it's a $1,500 house. They put it up for $1,100 with a $1,000 deposit, and people jump thinking it's too good to be true, which it is. But how many people realize the public's not very bright? We got that right. So they get put in the house. They're innocent. However, unfortunately, not only did they get scammed, but our owner, my client, got scammed. And so we go to that tenant and say, look, I see what happened, and I'm really sorry that this happened to you, but you have to leave. And we have the right to evict them immediately. But the best thing to do is make it a win-win, right? Try to help that person. Maybe we can get them qualified, right? Maybe we can let them stay and fix the situation. But it's an unfortunate situation. The only way to really solve it is to stop it from happening in the first place.
And that's with notices in the property.
Notices in the property, watermarks on your photos. So if they rip your photos off your ad, they have watermarks on them, things like that. There's no way to avoid them going after somebody that's really, really unsophisticated and really needs a house, and they just jump at it. It's a very difficult situation.
Ring door cameras, and
Now you got to have internet service, and almost all vacant houses don't. We use a smart lockbox through ShowMojo, our showing service, so we have to do an ID check, ID verification. ShowMojo catches fraudulent IDs all the time. So they have to do an ID check, and they get a lockbox code that's only good for a window. They go in, they look at the house, they can only open the door one time with that code. And then once they put the key back, it's done. And that knocks it down quite a bit.
Yeah. Then you get some agents, and I'm sure no one's ever experienced this other than me, but you get some agents that show a house and get to lock the back door.
Well, and there's also the teams. So you'll have a person that's completely legit. They're not on any of the records. They'll go in and look at the house, and they'll unlock the back window before they leave. And now their buddy can go in through the back window. Now they just rekey the house, and they're good. So there's no real stopping it. The key is to slow down. Most criminals are lazy, right? They'd rather have the easy mark. If you can make yourself a little more difficult, they'll go next door. They're going to keep doing it. You just got to stop it from being at your house. It's a tough situation.